Welcome back to our coverage of the Nebraska State Fair. We're pleased to be joined by Governor Pete Ricketts. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
It's fun to see you at the fair. Hey, we were just talking about the COVID stuff there, and I know there's a lot of questions and all that. One of the things I hear a lot is this dashboard. Any thought on bringing that back for the state?
Well, we publish the statistics for the state on a weekly basis.
Okay.
But due to Nebraska statutes on how we implement HIPAA, unless we have an emergency where I waive those statutes, we can't display the data like on a county level.
Sure.
Because there's just not enough there, so you could figure out, it just violates the privacy aspect of it. So we're continuing to monitor the hospitalizations, and we'll take it day by day, but that data is published. It's published on a weekly basis, so we can aggregate it, and therefore you protect everybody's privacy that way.
A couple of our local school districts, Hastings, Kearney, yesterday just said they're going to require masks. If I heard you right yesterday, you said you were 100% against mask mandates. Did I hear you right there?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. There really isn't any reason to mask kids, because they are the least at-risk category. In fact, I talked a lot about it yesterday. If you look at the flu seasons we've had more flu fatalities nationally from, over the flu seasons than we have from coronavirus. And we don't mask up kids for the flu. And if you look at our fatalities here in Nebraska specifically, we see the same data trends. So kids are not at risk for this. In fact, if you're 10 to 19 years old, you're 26 times more likely to die in a car accident, based on last year's data, than you were going to die of COVID. So again, just the risk, you got to balance off the risk reward here, and the kids are just not at risk any more than they are for the flu.
To push back a little bit on that, something I've heard from parents when I pick up kids from school, they say, well, my kids with the flu, they can be vaccinated. They can't be vaccinated yet, so maybe my kids should be wearing the mask. Does that change the equation a little bit?
Well, certainly I believe parents should have the choice here. So that's why I'm against mandates, but I certainly believe that if parents want to have their kids wear the mask, they should absolutely have their kids wear the mask.
Hey, one thing I wanted to ask you about, right out here I saw a sign that says, smile, be nice to those who show up to work today, because we're running short. What do you make of some of the workforce challenges we're seeing around here?
Yeah, certainly Nebraska has the lowest unemployment rate in the country. Grand Island is also,
right,
I think, one of the top metros for having a low unemployment rate, which is good that we've got people working. We also know that there's a lot of people who left the workforce during the course of the pandemic that have not re-entered the workforce, and so we really would love to see those people come back into the workforce and re-engage them to be able to get back in, and that's certainly one of the things that we're working on at the Department of Labor. And then, of course, we just need to continue to develop our workforce, whether it's attracting veterans to our state, like we've done with our getting rid of the taxes on veterans' military retirement benefits and making it easier for spouses to be able to get licenses here, or by making sure we've got that great talent pipeline so our young people know about the great careers we've got in our state, like in agriculture that we highlight here at the State Fair, and that they have the things like our career scholarships so they can afford to get that education.
So speaking of the State Fair, you get to have kind of a fun thing. It's been kind of an honor over the number of years that you get to be there to select that grand champion at the beef show. And I don't know what it is, but you look pretty good up there in that livestock arena when it comes time to shake somebody's hand and hand them that big ribbon there.
Thanks. Yeah, that's always a lot of fun, judging the Supreme Champion beef. We just so everybody feels comfortable, we do have real judges who know what they're doing. I'm there just to be able to take their judgments and let the winners know that they're the Supreme Champion beef.
Nebraska, we do beef as well as anybody, but ethanol we do as well as anybody. Soybeans, any number of commodities we do really well. But I continue to hear people say we could still do better in terms of value-added agriculture, whether that's adding dairy processing or the sorghum guy stops and he says, I'd love a sorghum processing plant or whatever, and I'm sure you would support any of those kinds of initiatives.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually creating value-added agriculture by processing the products we do here is going to create more economic activity. So we want more dairies here, and so we're working with the Nebraska State Dairy Association to be able to do that. Attracting things like when we got the Lincoln Premium Poultry plant in Fremont. That's another great example. That created opportunities for about 100 Nebraska farmers to put up those poultry barns. So those are all great ways for us to be able to help people build equity, keep young people in the industry, and so forth. So that's the Department of Ag's job to be able to make sure those things happen.
I've got some friends who are too far west for that Lincoln Premium. They said if they ever come to Nebraska with a plan for a second plant, they would love you to entertain that. So
moving a little bit farther west, I like that idea.
Come up with another plant. If maybe they can build another one someday. We'll see.
We would love to get another plant here in Nebraska.
But I mean, those kinds of opportunities certainly, that's real dollars to come back to our farmers and ranchers. So.
Absolutely.
All right, Governor, thanks for being with us.
Great. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much.